Hey fam, it's me here for a comic show. This is New Comics Now. I got a stack of comics. There's a lot of good stuff. You got the finale of Superior Spider-Man. You got the beginning of the final act of Batman 0 Year. Sex Criminals Volume 1 for $10 is awesome. Let's dig into here. Batman, this was freaking sweet. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, they're on fire. You know they've been rocking and rolling. And this is the final act of 0 Year. This is what they've been wanting to do. This is what they've been wanting to get to, and it shows. I mean, read this issue. It opens with just an awesome thing of Bruce Wayne in the past. It's just the first 2 pages here I'm talking about. He has a girlfriend named Julie. He's scaling the wall of her girl's house. School and with grappling hooks and whatnot. He has this date plan. He's going to take her out, show her a good time. He's excited. It seems like he's giddy for her, maybe in love with her. And then he's like, oh no, what's wrong with you? And she's like, what are you talking about? He looks up and she has a bullet hole in her forehead with blood coming down. But, you know, it's not real, you know? I mean, this is just the second page. I'm just saying, like, this is what the book opens with. And Snyder is a genius. This is PTSD. He sees in the face of any girl he loves his mother's forehead bullet wound. That's why he has never had a significant other, any real love interest. The Playboy act might be something that throws people off, that Bruce Wayne's Batman, but it also might be something he uses so he doesn't get triggered with his PTSD. I don't know. That's what it looks like. And the rest of this issue was just brilliant. I'm sorry I sound like such a giddy fanboy, but wow, Savage City Part 1. This is Riddler has taken over everything, and Bruce, Batman, has to challenge him. Jim Gordan's there, and this is where, in the other acts of this, Jim and Bruce have been very contentious. Jim and Batman has been pretty contentious, and this is the act that solidifies their solidarity, their coming together. I'm not saying it happens this issue, but I'm feeling it. You know they have a history. You know they have a long, deep-seated respect and working relationship, and this is the act where that all comes together. I love this issue. If you had fallen off of the 0 Year, seriously, come back on. This was awesome. Batman Eternal 2 came out, awesome by Snyder and others. Yeah, all respect to everyone. I'm sure Snyder would be like, you know, I'm just one writer, blah, blah, blah. But he is the showrunner here. At least that's how it was pitched to me by Dan DiDio. He's the showrunner like he was a showrunner of a TV show. And Batman Eternal #1 was really awesome. You might have had the train wreck spoiled. It might have been a train wreck for you in the DC page. But Jim Gordan's in handcuffs on the covers. He's in handcuffs. And Batman has to solve the mystery of what happened with Jim Gordan, because obviously he doesn't believe Jim Gordan is responsible for anything. Jim is questioning himself, and there's other supporting characters all coming into play, which we know from the advertisements, from all that stuff, all the other Bat characters. But there is also a big-name hero character coming into play here that I was excited to see that I'm not going to mention because it was cool when I saw it. So if you don't know, read it. You might think it's really freaking cool too. And a big-name surprise villain that may or may not be a big surprise for some people, but it was very awesome. So the second issue really delivered. As more people, more cast members are introduced, and as the mystery starts to develop, I'm all in. I love that book. This is weird. I haven't talked about this book ever. Brian Q. Miller I have liked in other stuff. He's kind of an internet fan favorite, but this is Smallville Lantern. So this is what you got to do. You know, give me a show that I only really watched when it had guest stars. Like I watched the JSA episode, which was alluded to in here. I watched the Booster Gold Blue Beetle episode. I watched the Legion of Superhero episodes. And now you put Green Lantern ring on him. You have John Stewart in there. You have all that stuff. I'm there. It was pretty fun. I like the Green Lantern mythos they've created for the Smallville universe. And I have always loved how TV shows can continue in comics. That's awesome. That's the beauty of comics, the budget that comics has, that it can do stuff that there might not be the budget to do as a TV show anymore, or the actors might be all tied up in other projects or whatnot. I really enjoyed it. Brian Q. Miller, I'm going to go back and read that stuff. It has been suggested to me. I am going to go back and read it, but I really enjoyed that issue. Moving on, Sinestro, Beware His Power. This is Cullen Bunn, who, interestingly enough, also writes crazy Deadpool stuff, like Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe and Deadpool vs. Carnage. But he has his own creator-owned stuff that's very well respected that I've enjoyed, like Six Gun. Well, Sinestro, it was solid. I liked it. And he put a lot into the first issue. Pulling Sinestro out of obscurity, out of his exile, out of his sabbatical that he was in since the end of Geoff Johns' run. Having Lisa Dark pull him out of that, having the Book of Parallax still. There's things that, the coolest things that could happen so far happened in this first issue. Things with his daughter, things with his planet, things with the other members of the Sinestro Corps, or the Yellow Lanterns as they are calling themselves now, since Sinestro is no longer their leader. And it was a solid first issue. I really enjoyed it. And if you think about it, Sinestro really had his own series since the beginning of the New 52 because that was his book, not really Hal's book. I mean, Hal died very soon into that book. So this is just kind of continuing Sinestro as the leading man. And I like to have a villain or a not so altruistic, a very flawed protagonist. So it was a solid first issue. This book, Harley Quinn, you know it, it's fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It's just a fun humor action book that DC needs more of. Like seriously, I'm so glad that Jimmy Palmiotti has the relationship he does with Dan Didio, where he's like, come on, Dan, I'll do this. You know, give me some leeway. And he's been having a lot of fun with it, and I've been having a lot of fun reading it, and it's been selling really well. So, and you know, if you're like, oh, I don't like the New 52 Harley, Jimmy's like, I'm not writing the New 52 Harley. I'm writing a fun Harley Quinn that I'm enjoying writing that is true to the essence of the character, and you know, it'll fit in continuity however it fits. Who cares? It's fun. He likes it. I like it. If you like Harley, you'll like that book, regardless of whether you were disappointed in her New 52 characterization in Suicide Squad. This is her own book with a writer that gets her, with a writing team that gets her. So, good stuff. I didn't mention Amanda Conner because I didn't talk to her face-to-face about it, where I did talk to Jimmy Palmiotti, so I was paraphrasing him. Justice League. This was the issue of Grid versus Cyborg, of humanity versus machines. It's the issue where the Metal Men help, and the cover is, you know, sort of misleading. This is not like another Justice where the Metal Men cover over the Justice League and, you know, whatever, have their little, like, suits of armor or whatnot. This is Cyborg versus the Grid with the Metal Men, and it was fun. This is the first time I've really enjoyed the Metal Men, and it all leads right into Forever Evil 7. So, sucks that book's late, but this Justice League book was just as good as if that book was on time, because it leads right into it, and I'm more wanting it because of it. So it did its job. Superior Spider-Man, the series finale, was epic. It was super thick. I'm excited about everything that's to come. I'm not going to spoil anything that happens in this issue. They wrap a lot of stuff up. They set a lot of stuff up. And I'm excited about The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm excited about the Spider-Man 2099 coming in July. I'm excited about the Spider-Verse thing that looks like Exiles with all the different Spider-Men that have ever existed in the multiverse being hunted and killed. I'm excited. It's a good time to be a Spider-Man fan. Moving on. Ultimate FF, you see the four, and you think it's Fantastic Four, maybe Future Foundation, whatnot, but you see the eyes in the background. That's the fifth member, and if you already know, you know it's awesome. If you don't know, I didn't read much of any of the solicitations or interviews or anything. I went into this cold, because I know I like Felkov. I like that he writes a lot of crime, lots of mystery stuff. He knows how to build a story, put clues in it, make things fun, and I was super excited to see who this fifth member is, and it was a fake out. It was a surprise to those people on the cover, the other people, and Felkov is saying that he's going to have a lot of fun with this book. He's going to do stuff that he sees as missing in a lot of books, is doing wild, crazy stuff and having a lot of fun, having a goofy smile on your face when you're done reading it, and blowing stuff up, and he's surprised with the stuff he's getting away with in the Ultimate Universe. He can basically do whatever he wants, because he says he's come up with crazy stuff he didn't think he could do, and they said, okay, do it. So, awesome. Thanks, Marvel. That's fun. I'm glad Felkov's found a good home there. Hulk #1, it's still Mark Waid, but it's, you've seen Dumb Hulk, you've seen Smart Hulk, have you seen Dumb Banner? Well, this is Who Shot Bruce Banner? Banner gets shot in the head. That is the premise. He's shot in the head, and he's dumb. And where does that leave the Hulk? Because it's always their two personas play off each other. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I love Mark Waid. Love to see what he does with these characters. It's a lot of fun. Deadpool vs. Carnage #2, where #1 left off with round 1. This just gets even more crazy. And I'm enjoying it. It's truly cotton candy, dumb fun, but reading this is like, why the hell isn't this like Deadpool versus Carnage Part 5 by now? I mean, this is so... It seems like Bunn is having so much fun with it. It's like it's writing itself. It's a joy to read. It's just a bunch of stupid, lowbrow, cliche after cliche that I'm just truly enjoying. So, wow. I know that sounds like a mixed compliment, but it is the exact book that it needs to be. If a book's called Deadpool vs. Carnage or Carnage vs. Deadpool, and the two characters actually argue about that in this issue, who gets the top billing in the verses, but it has to be dumb fun. It just has to be. So, and I've really enjoyed it. Miss Marvel 3 is out. This book has been very hard for me to keep in stock. I've been getting the second prints, the third prints. No idea how to order the first issue. I went what I thought was heavy, sold out first day. I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I would. I thought, you know, maybe this would be a good book, but it's not necessarily for me. Or maybe it's just going to be a bunch of pandering or gimmicky, but it's authentic, it's fun, it's whimsical. The protagonist is extremely likable. I'm just rooting for her. It's just, I'm totally sold. I can't wait to have a collection of it to sell. Moving on. Sex Criminals, Volume 1, One Weird Trick, Matt Fraction. This book is awesome. There's quotes on the back that are just ridiculous. Best New Series, USA Today, Comic of the Year, Time Magazine. Like, seriously, and it's called Sex Criminals. You would think that anything called Sex Criminals would be just totally unmarketable. You can't sell that. If there's one thing we all agree on as a society, you know, we don't try to judge people, whatnot, but sex criminals are bad. You know, we have lists for them. We make them go door to door here in Florida and tell people that, hey, I'm a sex criminal, hide your children, whatnot. You know, we all agree that sex criminals are scumbags. I mean, basically, that's the collective opinion. But Fraction called this Sex Criminals, and it's brilliant. It's coming of age where mutant power was kind of like a metaphor for adolescence, sexuality, body changes. The mutants in the Marvel Universe did get their powers during adolescence, so it was kind of a metaphor of my body is changing. I'm having these weird feelings. There's things going on that I can't really explain that are completely different. Well, what if when you had your first sexual experience as, you know, an adolescent, some crazy-ass power happened, like you stopped time? Yeah, that's what this is. And finally, a girl who can make time stand still when she has sex meets a boy that has his own special thing when he has sex, and they have sex, and they see that their powers work when they have sex. They do what any young, fun couple would do that has powers when they have sex. You're not thinking straight, so you go and rob banks. That's the premise. That's the crime. And it's fun. It's confessional. It explores sexuality in our culture, sexuality in just some of the brokenness, some of the guilt, some of the shame, some of the stuff of feeling like you're just so different and so weird and not knowing what to do, not knowing if you're going to be accepted, being vulnerable, like having sex for the first time or the first few times or whatnot, or even the first time with any single person, you're very vulnerable, and it just captures that and takes it where this is not sex like, oh, sex sells, pornography, just titillating. This is not that brand of sex. This is sex, real, awkward, messy, fluids, feelings of inadequacy. That's what it is. And it's dealing with sex in a real way with superpowers. Isn't that what you've always wanted from comic books? And you get Volume 1 for $9.99. Give it a shot. Moving on, Stray Bullets, Killers, Dave Lapham. Killers number 2. I still have plenty of number 1s. I ordered so heavy on that. I'm going to have special deals on that. But I am so happy to have Stray Bullets back on the shelves. I'm so happy to be able to introduce people to it and get new stories myself. That I was giddy to read that. I was thrilled. I love it. These single issue stories that jump around in time and place with characters, but they all connect. They all connect in ways that are even more fun. And this had one of my favorite characters, if not my very favorite character of his series, and what happened to her after the end of the previous series. So you don't have to have read the previous volume to enjoy this, but man, I loved it. And I like that these are single-issue stories that tell the story he sets out to tell, but leaves so much stuff open to just think about life and violence in our culture and what we settle for, and just give it a shot. Give Stray Bullets a shot. And finally, Translucid. This is the Coheed and Cambria stuff. You see like this horse on the cover. There's horse heads. It's Claudio and Chandra, who have both signed here, who are great fun people writing, great art, great coloring. And if you are a fan of the band in any way, get the book. It won't let you down. I've liked most everything they've done, and they seem to get a little better each volume that they do, and I've really enjoyed it. So, you know, at first I was like, you know, the band's cool. They're really great people. You know, I'm not really into the second stage Turbine Blade, all that stuff. And then the Key of Z, I was like, wow, this is really clever. I like this. And now they're on a roll. So good for them. I'm excited that he loves comics and that he wants to do comics, and they are putting out quality product with Boom. It's great. So thanks, Boom. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And if you're a local or in the area visiting, come here. Almost every night we have something. Tuesday is the Geek Trivia, where you can win your bar tab. Wednesday is our open mic with Mark with a C that we do once a month. Thursday is the stand-up comedy night, Comics and Comics, that we also only do once a month. Friday is Nerdy Karaoke, as every week. And Sunday is Game of Thrones, which we have the viewing party, and we have the beer Blood and Fire, both on draft and in bottles, and it's good. So I hope to see you. Thanks. Bye.